Well, you best watch your ass, because the slingers out here, they like to crack babies.
Man, every year, everybody's like, yeah, these kids out here, they're a new breed. I ain't never seen nothing like this before. This the end of the world now.
Look around, you fuckhead. This seem like the dawn of a new day to you?
Can I go now? Or you want to slap me up some more first?
It's an absolute honor meeting you, brother. I hold The Wire to the highest standard. Like I believe that shit. And to talk to somebody who's a part of perfection is hands down too much for me, bro. I thank you so much for taking the time out and doing this.
Before you continue, man, I appreciate you, brother. I mean, it's supporters like yourself who made us who we are today. You know, watching The Wire and with the show being a part of history. And like I said, man, you know, the pleasure is mine. And I can't wait to share this interview with people.
All right, guys, thanks so much for clicking the link. I'm Big Rich. As you can see, we're switching up the format today. It's hard for me to put in words. We got Tray Chaney with us, better known as Poot from The Wire. Thank you so much, brother, for taking the time out and doing this shit. Thank you, man.
Rich, I appreciate you, my brother. Thank you, man. I'm honored to be on your platform.
Now, I got a question that's been burning, that's been bothering me for 20 years, and I got to start it with this. Why the fuck did you kill Wallace, bro?
You know what's crazy about that scene? Man, first of all, shout out to HBO, shout out to David Simon, you know, Nina Noble, Ed Burns, George Pelicanos, Michael B. Jordan. You know, this man is incredible.
You gotta be like this, yo. We the niggas, man, BC, remember that? Come on.
We knew he was special back then. We knew he had a bright future ahead of him. He was already, you know, who he was. He knew who he was back then. Right. But that scene, man, that was like one of the most powerful, most touching scenes of the show, to be honest with you. When J.D. Williams, who played Bodie, you know, he had to pull the trigger. You know, it was almost like me trying to hurry up and rush him to do it.
Do it, goddammit, if you're gonna.
Because, you know, if you watch it close, when JD shot him, or Bodie shot him, he's laying there, and you don't want to see your friend suffer. It's almost like a dog, you know, and I mean, not to compare a human being to an animal, but watching a dog suffer, you got to put him out of his misery. You know, so it was almost that type of art that we had to demonstrate.
Being a teenager, finishing up high school, kind of feeling like I was in the same age as y'all, and witnessing that shit. Like when you took the burner from that shit was so powerful because you let Bodie know you was with him, and secondly, like you said, you just put your man's out of his misery. Going back to those darker scenes, the Wallace scene, the scene when Snoop shoots at you, what did you have to pull out of you to make it seem as authentic as it was?
Well, you know, another crazy story about this scene when we had the off Wallace, like maybe a couple of weeks before that, a friend of mine was killed. You know, I'm not going to say he was killed that way because I don't know, but those were the type of emotions that I carried with me on that particular scene. Since The Wire was such a heavy, realistic show, I'm from Fullsville, Maryland, Washington, D.C. Okay. And it's a whole bunch of different Wallaces, Bodies, Poots, Stringer Bells, where I grew up at. You know, like I said, man, I always tell people The Wire is definitely considered, to me, the first reality show because it was so real and authentic. And so many people around the world, you know, they've been able to relate to it. And that's why, you know, when you look at other shows, and don't get me wrong, I love Power, I love BMF, any show you could think of, Snowfall. The blueprint was laid in 2002 with The Wire for these other shows to exist, to be around. And I mean, they know that.
The Wire's daddy, like everything is, and that's what it is. When you look back at that period and that time, and basically y'all were making art, you know, real shit. Like, do you feel offended that The Wire seems to get more recognition now than it did then. Like, y'all didn't win no Emmys. Like, there was no
I know.
Best Actor nominees, no supporting. Like, there is no weak link on The Wire.
Of course, it was some type of level of, discomfort. Like, why are we not receiving any awards for The Wire? Like, what's making the Academy or these other award shows not give The Wire an award? But now I'm looking and I'm like, wow, 20 years later, I'm speaking about it. So the longevity of my career and some of the things that I've been able to book just off of them looking at me saying, wait a minute, you're the guy from The Wire. It's not a day that goes by that I don't walk outside of my house and people say The Wire. Yeah. So I think looking back 2002 to now 2022, it's like, okay, the Wire, it's doing exactly what it's supposed to do.
You rewind. What are some of your favorite scenes?
Some of my favorite scenes is definitely rest in peace to my brother Michael K. Williams, Omar.
Yeah.
Like walking in the pit, man, with that shotgun. Stringer Bell and Avon's conversations.
Yeah.
Those were some powerful moments. Rest in peace to Prop Joe.
Oh, that's right.
The co-op scenes with him and Jamie Hector, who played Marlo, which I'm on a limited series on HBO now. We Own the City with Jamie.
Absolutely. Yeah. Absolutely. and again, We Own the City was great too. Now,
thank you.
There is something about the way he does his shows. Bro, the first 5 minutes of that shit, I was like, yo, I'm back in fucking Baltimore. This is insane. I'm back.
You know what? One thing I can say about David Simon and the whole entire crew, George Pelecanos, Nina Noble Eber, they don't miss, and the truth hurts.
Right.
David Simon's writing, it's almost like, man, they knocked this thing out the park. Like, boom, it's different.
Y'all stick the landing every time. It's a hand in glove fit. Like watching portrayal as you as a cop, knowing who you were in The Wire, and you gotta just take them in. But goddamn, listen, bro, it ain't real. Just reset your mind. You know what I'm saying? Like you gotta reset your mind. And again, just the We Own the City experience. Based off of true events. Like, how was that whole experience?
The reunion, first of all, with just
that's right.
Uniting with David and all of the same crew members that were on set with me when I was 20 years old. I'm 41.
Yeah, that's crazy.
And the same crew. That was a moment that I just had to take in. I was like, okay. They called me 20 years later to say, we want you to play a cop. I've never played a police officer before.
Right.
Dre Severino, who was the, detective police officer consultant on set, the way I moved, the way I wore the badge, the way I spoke, I pulled it off.
Yeah.
And it was because of their writing. When you get fortunate enough, lucky as they call it, to get with the David Simon, George Pelecanos, Renato Marcus Green, who directed it. You're around John Bernthal and Jamie Hector and Josh Charles and all these amazing artists,
correct,
actors. It's like you gotta really be grateful and thankful to be a part of that, or to receive rave reviews. And it was a shock, man. It was a full circle moment for me. And right now I'm like, wow, they really just they brought me back. You know what I'm saying? And they didn't have to do that.
I thank y'all for bringing back that vibe after 20 years. It's like, I know it's not an extension of The Wire, but it feels like an extension. Yeah. Just that when he's flipping that baton, that first scene of the series, and the feeling, I'm like, yo. Before I get you out of here, I just got a quick couple lightning round questions. Like, is Randy Wagstaff Cheese's son? This is some shit that's been going around YouTube and on Facebook.
Well,
is there any chance?
Not to my knowledge. No, not at all.
Marlo or Avon?
Damn, that's a hard one. Well, not really, but I gotta go with my brother Avon.
Okay.
I'm a Barksdale.
I hear you. String a Bell or Prop Joe. You and String ain't really see eye to eye a lot of that.
Yeah, I know. And I never really. I gotta go with Prop Joe. Me and Interest didn't see eye to eye.
Chris or Snoop?
I gotta go with Snoop.
Okay.
The family.
Levy or Clay Davis?
Clay.
Okay. And I'll get you out of here on an easy one.
Yeah.
Bodie or Slim?
Whoa.
Oh, maybe not that easy.
It's not easy because I both of those guys are my guys, but I gotta go with Bodie.
When Bodie died, that tap he gave you when you had to dip out, just describe some of the feeling or emotion going into some shit like that. I
mean, it was hard, man. It was, because when you working on sets for months and months at a time, you become family with these people in real life.
Right.
Which me and JD, we got the Poot and Bodie parties coming up. We getting ready to, do a couple of tours. We looking for booking agents now to book us in their cities and all of that. Like we getting ready to do some big things. But those emotions was real. That, those tears in the eyes and all that was real, man. Because you get attached to somebody like that.
Mm-hmm. This has been an honor for me. The Wire is, to me, like I said, The Wire is number one on my, TV's list. Sopranos, Breaking Bad, Game of Thrones, all that shit is great. But
thank you.
They borrowed from Daddy.
Yeah, man. I appreciate you, man. For real. When this interview comes out, man, once you chop it up, go ahead and send it to me, man. I'm gonna hit up a couple of my other peoples.
Thank you, brother. This is like I said, this is fucking phenomenal, bro. Like, do you view The Wire as artwork? Like, do you view it the same way?
It's history. Yeah, okay. It's I know what it is now. I didn't know what it was back then. I didn't know what it was. Because I was in it. I was a part of it.
Right.
But I know what it is now. Peace. What's up, y'all? It's Tray Chaney, better known as Poot, from the HBO series The Wire. And right now you are tuned in to the Chop Shop with your boy Tray Chaney and my brother Rich.